squeezes in entirely and stands a little bit closer because she's terrified.
I should point out that there are a few droplets of blood, and it's not clear what direction they came from, going away from the house or going into the house.
Yeah, well, I don't think we'd be able to tell anyway. We're chock full of adrenaline and freaked out anyway.
Give me a keep your cool for seeing the blood, both of you. What are you afraid is going to happen?
I think I'm more convinced now than ever that my mom is hurt.
You should kind of
And
afraid, yeah.
I guess Addie's afraid that Shay is the one who did it.
7.
That's a 2.
2? Oh, also I took a new move when I failed last time. I took the log fuse, which is when you or someone wrapped in your arms should take harm, you may negate that harm. If you do so, someone names something that you hold dear. If you don't destroy that something later, do harm to yourself then.
You're going to miss, right, Addie? Go ahead and mark XP. We'll come back to this scene. Julia, the bargain. And then we want to get you to the party, I think, pretty quickly after that. They say, we'll help you add this boy to your collection, Julia. You won't have to worry about that anymore. He's yours. In exchange, you have to do as we ask. You've got to make sure the doors are open. The passage is open to this party. This town is intensely fascinating to us. There is something underneath the surface. We wish to upturn it. We wish to see what lies beneath. And we will, with your help.
Right. But I'm not a kid anymore. I'm part of this game. Already for a while now. So it's just not anymore you command and I obey, but it's an exchange. Whatever you're up to, I want to be part of it. I want to be part of this bond. I also want to have power over what you admire, over what you want to unleash.
I'm going to lean into your condition that you've taken, just a pawn, just a chess piece, and they're going to say, oh, trust us, you're definitely a part of what's going on. But this is a sort of milk before meat situation, Julia. You're not ready to know exactly what we're up to. Not until you've done something to show us that, well, you are able to set your sights higher. I mean, a boy with a funny haircut, how perfectly ordinary and pedestrian. I should mention they talk in tandem. They're both talking, right?
Looking left and right the whole time, and they switch between partners talking. Okay. Just give me one string. One tiny little string. They do what you ask me for.
And they will both lean in. Mechanically, you'll be able to mark your string on both of them, right? They act as a unit. And they both lean in and they say, well, we do quite sort of like you. You'll always have that.
I need to get ready for the party now. We have a deal.
Good. They lean back and they smile. I like how all they were willing to give you is just, we like you.
Yeah. My parents. What they don't know is that I have possibly new parents soon.
And I think at this point you're back in your home, right? And the smoke is kind of clearing and they say, splendid, splendid. They leave you. I think we should probably fast forward on the party a little bit. I think it'd be good to go ahead and get Adam and Julia in the same space. I think Debbie suspects that I think she still suspects that Julia is behind it. She's got a bad feeling about Julia. And I think this is probably around this time when Julia, you show up, right, to the party. Maybe right as she's saying, I think Julia did it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know Julia's there because you hear Chad say, what the fuck happened to your hair? What do you do, Adam?
Oh, fuck, there he is. I say to Debbie.
Oh, she's like, speak of the devil, and he shall appear, or she shall appear in this case.
let's go to another room, maybe.
She's like, sure. I just want to go. Let me go get another drink. And then she's like, I'll be right back in a minute. She goes to get another drink. Julia, you're at the party. What do you do?
I'm on duty, but I'm also allowed to enjoy myself a little bit. And finally, I see Adam. I give you a glance.
I should like to mention, Julia, you came in through a gate. Did you do anything to keep that gate open?
It's quite old anyway, so if I push it a little bit further open than I have to, then it doesnn't swing back.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So I didn't block it completely.
Gets a little, it's like rusted and gets stuck. You kind of get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
So it makes an extra effort to open it again, to close it again.
Yeah.
So people could still do so, but it's not so easy.
Yeah, yeah. Good. Then you go in, right? Chad has kind of let you in or whatever, right? And he like closes the door and locks the door behind you. And then he kind of like steps away. You can easily just like unlock that sucker, right? No problem.
Yeah, but I would like to do that together with Adam. It's like my kind of how I seduce people is about making them feel awkward and estrange them and open that door and let some fresh air in. It's like the perfect way to make a statement here.
Well, I think like Julia, you'll see Debbie like kind of leave, like maybe they're off in a little side room and you'll see Debbie like come out and see you. And she kind of like shudders a little bit and kind of hurries off to go get a beer. And she says, Adam, I'll be right back. And then that's how you know that's where Adam is. Right, so.
I'm looking for him, yeah.
He's very easy to find. I mean, Debbie just called his name.
Very easy to find, yes. And the music is loud, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think if we go a little bit outside and open the door for that, take him by my hand and drag him. Come on,
Hey, Julia.
You were at my parents' place.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to talk to you, but your parents are weird.
I would have warned you. Why didn't you talk with me before?
Yeah, it's not like you have a phone line in your pocket or something like that. I want to talk with you about Eddie, but what the fuck, Julia? What is going on with your room?
I can't explain it all. It's many different things happened today, and let's take a breath of fresh air outside together, okay? I can't explain it all.
Okay. Yeah, I give her the chance to explain.
Yeah, that's good. So let's go outside.
Yeah.
I open the door and I turn it around twice so that it can't be just shut down again. You know,
the door of the house or the gate?
Of the house, yeah. The gate is already open.
Hey,
no, we already stage 2.
Hey, Julia, what are you doing here?
I need to talk with you. I want to explain everything what happened. You know, it's like you have seen my room. You have got to know my parents. I mean, we entered a new stage of our relationship, as it seems.
If we don't have a relationship, Julia. There are murderers around. Robbie is dead, and now you're like keeping the doors open while some weirdo is creeping around out there. Why?
Well, there are plenty of weirdos already inside. Don't worry.
I want to go and close the door to the garden like that.
Yeah,
big
do
door
so.
to the
You have to
the gate.
do what you have to do. Yeah, but you will miss your opportunity to talk with me, to learn about.
I take that chance for not getting murdered.
Talking about nobody is going to murder anybody here.
Tell that to Robbie.
Yeah, but we don't know what happened there. The police is after it, and I mean, this is a party. Come
So
on.
now the door is closed. What the fuck,
Yeah.
Julia?
I'm a big fan of you. I have to admit it.
Why?
You're the only one who has who has a soul. The only one who's not pretending to be something else.
Yeah, okay.
You're unique. You are special to me. I've never met somebody like you before.
I think this is probably a turn someone on. Or a shutdown. I don't know. It is weird. It's a good question. How would you perceive it? As a shutdown or a turn someone on, Adam?
I guess it's to turn someone on. Like, if
I'm
this-
really bad at it, so
Yeah,
don't worry.
he knows it's probably not true, but it's something he likes to hear.
Indeed, yeah. So unfortunately, I'm not a very good liar. So let's see how this goes. That's a 6 only, and if I spend a string I have on you, then I can push it to a 7.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it seems I have to do so.
Go to 10.
Indeed, yeah, I could also do that.
Are you bumping it to a 7?
I bump it to a 7. Yes, yeah.
Okay,
This
so
should not fail.
you can either give a string to Julia or choose one of the reactions below. Adam, think about that for a minute. I'm going to cut away. The two of you are like trekking out into the woods, Fall and Addie, and you see your mom in the flashlight, face down in the grass. Her own flashlight kind of like knocked over. It was actually like knocked over and kind of pressed into a bush. So that's what subdued the light, right? What do you do, Fall?
I think I rush forward pretty quickly. Like I don't even know if Eddie could like hold on to my hand. I think I would just like bolt forward and try to like push her over and see if she's like hurt or knocked her head or whatever.
You go to push her and you hear, "Oh, for Christ's sake!" Oh, she like grabs her head, and you can see now that like her head is bleeding pretty badly. Like she got bonked on the back of the head with something, right?
Mm.
She's like, "Oh, she's like, oh my God!" And she like goes to like grab you, like she's happy you're safe, right? She's like, "Don't you know someone like smashed me in the head with it must have been a rock, and I fell down and I saw him heading toward the house. We gotta go quick."
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, so I guess we'll bolt towards the house.
Addie, how are you feeling about all this?
Weirdly enough, more secure than she felt in her own home. Like, at least she's with people, as much as this is terrifying, and like around good people she believes to be a good human beings.
Right, yeah. I mean, is this moment, this sort of like heightened moment, possibly triggering your new order thing? Like this sort of
Yeah.
the intensity of the situation, possibly?
To see like a mother and child express like such caring about each other is so
Right.
foreign.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
No, that makes perfect sense. So you both get XP, right? Is that how that goes?
I believe if someone else is helping me have this moment, then they also get to mark XP.
Yeah. But go ahead, mark XP.
I do?
Yep. Yeah, you both do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Fall's mom,
Yeah.
Janine, says, she's like, "Oh, hey, hon, are you? What's going on? Where's Shay?"
Shay's in the house. He stayed there and he said that he was
She's
worried
like,
about
"Oh,
you.
we gotta go. Come on. And she's heading back.
And I'm like, don't worry, I got the gun. Whatever it is, we'll be able to deal with it. And I start like heading back.
So, what was the result here? So what do you choose? Do you give Julia a string or choose one of those reactions there, Adam?
I'm not sure what to say, but I'm glad you recognize something that I am a unique person and all of those things are true, but I can't promise you to be a part of your murder schemes here, but let me just get Debbie and me out of here. You can do whatever you want with the rest of the guys.
That's right, because Debbie's probably convinced Adam that you're the killer.
It might be to turn into a killer. Adam is not otherwise so easily convinced. If I can do so now, I think if there's a chance with all the chaos around us, and Adam and I are still like a little bit aside, right?
I guess we're standing in the garden.
Yeah. Then I want to take the opportunity I have that we are still relatively close and strangle you down to the ground. You are about to accuse me murder, This shall not be the case.
I just promised you to let you get away with it if you let me have Debbie. But yeah, okay.
No, I'm a little bit more advanced in terms of making promises and negotiating stuff around. I can't trust you in this moment because you seem to be still a shallow hollow, and I have to turn you either into a cocoon for my family, or you stay with me and you open up yourself and be what you shall be. So let me push you down and see how far I can get you.
So much for not being on 11 this session.
Yeah. I
Lash
gave my best for 2 hours, but now
Yeah.
physical, roll plus volatile.
that doesn't look good for you.
Uh-huh. What
That's
did you roll?
that's a 9, which means I cause 1 harm, and with the 3 strings I have, I can push you up to 4 harm.
Damn.
However, I think you can also choose one, right?
No,
I have to choose one.
Yeah, you can decide how bad the harm turns out, and so you can bump it up, or the MC decides how bad it turns out. I would say that you probably do 2. So if you spend 2 strings, that would be, or you can choose to. They can learn something about your true nature. That seems like a foregone conclusion. Or you become your darkest self. I don't even want to see Julia in her darkest self. I don't even know what that even
No.
means.
We won't go so far. But you can learn something about me and gain a string on me. Then you already have 2, I think.
So I learned something about you.
Adam, I want to see you in your true nature. I know there's something under it. I'm looking at you every day in school and I see nothing. I can't see anything behind your shell. There must be something, and it must be special. Rescue me. You can save me. I say so while strangling you, being with you on the ground. And for the others, I hope I can look at like it is kissing and making out.
Oh my God, I love it. Like while that's happening, other people think you're making out. I think we see Debbie standing. I mentioned that it's like full glass, floor to ceiling glass panes, right? We just see Debbie standing there looking like really hurt because I think she had a little crush on Adam.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And we see her like basically kind of rolling her eyes, a little tear, and she like turns around and stomps away. Well, all right.
Yeah, there isn't much room for dramatic responses when you're getting strangled.
Oh, so let's go back. Rushing to the cabin at this point, right? You're probably faster than everybody because you're pretty athletic, right? But they're right behind you, and you don't see Shay, and your mom is like, calling out like, Shay, they're like, where are you at? And they're like, she's like, I'll go look out front. And she just goes out to the front of the house to go see if she can find him. What do the 2 of you do?
I think Addie's grabbed full again for security.
I'm kind of thinking like, if I'm a Sasquatch, I wonder if I have a good sense of smell or something, and I could look for him that way, but...
You'll hear some noise.
Where's it coming from?
It's coming from your bedroom.
What does it sound like? I start running.
That sounds good.
You get to the door, and maybe you like stop momentarily, and it's louder, right? And you just hear this like, and it goes quiet.
And we peer inside.
You crack open the door and look.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go very far. You don't even have to crack open the door because there's a little trickle, a stream of blood coming out from underneath the door frame, the crack of the door. You hear it squish beneath your foot. Killer's in there.
I want to kick open the door and I want to shoot him, and I'm very angry and I cry out for Shay.
Nice. You kick open the door and it's just a really fast scene. Like you see Shay splayed out on the ground, completely naked, carved up like Robbie was. You see the spiral killer standing there, also naked, spirals all over his body, right, and various weird symbols, and wearing that stag skull mask. And you just burst in and blast. Lash out physically.
Oh, boxcars. So not the worst. 11.
Nice. You deal them harm, and they choke up momentarily before they can react. Shotgun blast is pretty intense. That's like a 3 harm blast, right? You just blast him, and he just goes like pow, and like just a spray of blood, and he slams up against the wall. Adeline, what do you do?
I feel like all this is like a sensory overload for Adeline in her new body. So I think she's image in my head of like her slipping over on the blood as she tries to back away from this scene.
Are you trying to run? I mean,
yeah, I guess she would try and run.
Yeah, give me a runaway. We'll follow time.
Yeah, that's a 3.
I'm going to give you condition marked with a spiral. You may find yourself in the future making that weird spiral motion on your body. You otherwise get away. Just describe where you run to.
I think she'd run towards Foal's mother or just someone else.
Yeah, an adult figure, right? Makes sense. So
yeah.
There. That's good. Meanwhile, Fall, he's there, blasted, not dead yet, but on the ground. But you've got a moment to react here. What do you do?
Like, can I be like the werewolf and turn into Darkest Self? Like, become like a Sasquatch?
You can become, you can go Darkest Self whenever you want.
Yeah, because then it says you escape your Darkest Self when you hurt one of those people more than they've ever hurt anyone else, and more than you meant to. So
what does it mean for you to go into Darkest Self?
They frame it like I'm getting back at a bully. Right now, it's time to rain stones upon the bullies and the excluders. It's time to wreck their precious stuff, to shove them back so hard that they'll never even dream of messing with you or anyone ever again. You escape your darkest self when you hurt one of those people more than they've ever hurt anyone else.
I like this. Is there a physical transformation involved? Like, do you even just slightly, do you become more beast-like? Is it more like a werewolf thing or what? What do you think?
Yeah, I think like my hair turns color too, to like the color of like autumn leaves or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I like grow in stature, not as like super hulking out, but I think I get like taller. And my goal with this, I think, is like there's a big window in this cabin, and I want to like hurt him in his home too. Like I want to like hurt him so bad that I drag him into the forest and wound him there, and like just like
you just tear him up. Yeah. You like tear him into pieces. Like, what do you do?
I want to like rend him in such a way that I know that he would be awake for the whole thing. And
so you're like using your brute monstrous strength to like just to tear him apart alive, basically. I think I know instinctually that mask is super important to him. So I want to make sure that like maybe I take the mask and place it so that the mask is like looking at what I do to him. Yeah.
So that he experiences that same like humiliation or whatever. And then at the end, maybe like take the mask and just like hurtle it into the woods.
Nice. Good. Let's cut back to the party. What do you do with his body, Julia? I mean, you've just murdered Adam. Everyone thinks for the time being that you guys are just making out in the brush, but what do you do?
As always, I hope I didn't kill him, just strangled him a little bit, like to see if he's showing any kind of reaction. I'm sure he will be fine, but maybe he doesn't look so fine right now. I think there's like where the waste bins are. It's a good place to beat for a little rest, to catch up some breath for him.
So you're kind of going around back or what?
Yeah, dragging him, and we're still standing outside, right? So I'm dragging him behind the waste bin. Actually, yeah, I was hoping that he enters his darkest self as soon as possible. Otherwise, then I will sneak carefully in the direction of one of the gates, because I think gates should never be closed, because still people could arrive at the party and they should all feel invited. Still have some duty here, and windows and stuff like that. So I'm quite busy, actually.
Yeah, not at all, because your parents told you so. It's just to be inviting.
Well, in fact, as you turn to leave, Julia, you actually see your parents standing just inside the gate, shoulder to shoulder, and they're looking at each other, and then they look at you, and they smile, and they say, "What an interesting turn of events tonight, dear." "Yes, very interesting. Tell us all about it. How did it feel?"
I will, but I will not tell you. I have other friends now. Real friends. Friends who listen to me and don't want to study me or analyze me. I haven't exactly figured out how to make friends the proper way, but I'm about to learn.
They look at each other and say, "Well, we don't know much about making friends either, but I'm going to throw out a guess that what you just did is probably not the right way to do it."
I'm sure he is not dead. Come on. It was barely 3 minutes.
They flank you, one on the left, one on the right. They put their arms around you and they say, "You've had a very long day, dear. I think it's time to come back home now." They escort you out the gate, conveniently open, take you out to the street, to their waiting car. That just leaves Adam. How do you want to come back from this?
Yeah, I guess I screwed up by trusting her, right?
I think so, yeah.
Then I would like to take the condition trusting and get pushed forward for my next move.
Okay, sounds good.
And I go into my darkest self.
What is your darkest self?
Your body is a prison. You don't belong inside of it. You need to put it in harm's way and make it suffer, just like it's made you suffer. There's got to be a way to cut yourself out of it. You need to meet your makers and hold them accountable for what they've done to you. To escape your darkest self, you must come to see someone else feels more trapped than you do.
Oh, how interesting. I think we should just go to a set of epilogues then in that case. Okay. Don't go too far ahead in time, maybe no more than a few days or a week. And I just want to see your characters at the end of this, what they're doing, what they're up to.
Fall just goes missing for a time as he continues to go through the forest as an actual Sasquatch, right? I think he's lost in his monstrous form out there for a little while.
Yeah, that seems good. I like that.
So I think Adeline tries reaching out to Fall in these next couple of days, since I guess she finds him the only person that she can really reach out to and trust at this point. And so she's deeply heartbroken when she can't get in touch with him. And I think we see potentially, if it's okay, Julia, we see her and Julia in Addie's room. Adeline takes Julia's hand and says, if we do this, you and I together, they're going to take us away. And the only way we can be together is if we take them out first.
That's what we have to do. One by another.
And I think at that point, Adeline lets out a little snaky hiss and maybe wraps you in a snake-like hug. And you can see her skin become more mottled and cold as she reveals her true self to Julia.
Nice.
Adam is devastated by what happened, and that's not him. He's not this victim who just gets strangled and does nothing about this, and is kind of beating himself up, sitting in his room, finally returning home, and kind of scratching the marks of strangulation around his neck till he finally slams his hand into the wall, which is a cracking sound. And then he goes to the phone and calls the sheriff. Sheriff Nichols, I heard you. You might not know who I am. I don't even know myself. But I've heard you talking to Eddie, I think the murderer, and how you protected him. But there's another murderer growing in this town. Julia Weir, she already attacked 2 people. She has to be taken out. Mercy Falls won't be secure until someone does. And I want to spend my string on the sheriff to get stop Julia from being a murderess.
Indeed. And I'd like to just pick up straight from there with my little epilogue, where we hear just that last little bit of you telling Sheriff Nichols this. Sheriff Nichols has you on speakerphone in his office, and he's at his desk. And directly across from him, sitting in the chairs in front of his desk, are two young women. One of these young women is wearing like a purple women's suit. She's quite young. She's probably like in her late 20s. And she has like a yellow legal pad, and she's taking some notes and kind of like trying to figure out something, right? And the other young woman is a young nun, very young nun, maybe 20, 22 years old. She's also sitting in that chair directly across. And Sheriff Nichols says, "Thank you, son." He clicks it and turns it off and says, "Well, it looks like this is a bigger mess than we thought." And the nun says, "It's okay. We've trained for a long time to deal with situations like this. We'll fix it." And the other woman, unnamed at this point, says, "Yes, we'll fix it. We'll take care of it. The Mercy Falls experiment will continue. And we'll do whatever it takes to make sure that we can do our work unimpeded." And they all agree to this, and they get up and they walk out of the office.
People in the 80s really like showing their ankles.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. Seems like it, yeah. They're like, how can I show a little bit of my feet? Because that's enticing.
Yeah.
So like a reptilian
I love
shotgun
it.
wedding.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. You should know, Adeline, that I'm going to be casting your family from American Horror Story. The actors on American Horror Story are probably going to be many of the members of your family on the sheet. So it's
Nice.
okay if you have not seen that show, but just so you know.
That's amazing. I think once you reveal your true self, you can grow fangs and shit, but I don't think there's like an actual move for biting.
Custom move.
You inject poison into their veins.
Yeah, just name it like Bite AF. When you bite AF, roll.
This character is amazing. Like, this is gonna be so good.
Yeah, I got a lot of German 80s when I just searched 80s in the Pinterest tab, so that would be confusing if I used those.
Yeah. Well, I had to look up 80s because 80s in Canada is not 80s in America. We're like 10 years behind until like 95.
My character would be much happier in Great Britain. Like he could be a new romantic and would know that there's more than two gender identities and stuff like that. But he's in rural USA before the internet, so.
Thing whenever people click on it, I don't know why, but
Yeah.
I was laughing at the Mojave Gourd short.
the hat makes it.
I think it's the hat and the socks that do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, and
That's a great
the
combination.
the font of everything too, right? They're just like, we don't even care if you can read this.
Yeah, this outfit speaks for itself.
It's true.
All I can think about is Seinfeld when he's like, I choose not to run.
Yeah, well, I would have run, but
Oh wait, we just lost Lauren.
Oh, yep.
We'll give Lauren a second.
That was sudden too. She was like
yeah.
in the middle of a sentence, just gone. It would be good for when she's angry, right? Just splash stuff. That's how art works.
I'm going to take a string on you as well. It's something I'm allowed to do, but I just do it because
Sure.
I want to.
I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I'm doing it.
I like having strings on the. I like having strings to the NPCs in the beginning. I think it like gets things going a lot faster. So
I like that.
I take how many strings on her?
Just one.
One. Okay.
And she has 5 on you. No big deal.
Because she's the dungeon master.
The thing that becomes known at the end of this session is that actually we're all like side characters in the narrative that is actually Chad's life because he's the real protagonist.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so and probably accurate.
Yeah, we would be side characters in.
Yeah.
But on the upside, if she needs to hit on someone, she can always say, "Mind if I slither in?"
Oh, that was so bad.
Cool. And what are your parents' names? Just first and
Oh.
last is fine.
Mulder and Jill. No, I'm just kidding.
and assuming you don't have clippers handy, you're just gonna be just a scissor job.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the film scissors and
Exactly, film cutting scissors.
Yeah.
yeah, you are doing the best haircuts in the dark.
Yes. And rest pieces of my hair shall be everywhere.
I'm so sorry. That was so creepy.
I'm so happy. It was so creepy.
It was great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So, in both Monsterhearts games I played with Garrett, his character gets his head shaved. My queen also forced him to get a haircut to join the gang.
True. Oh my
That's
god.
amazing.
I was about to say Pokemon, but that's like 15 years too early. So
This is so good.
Yeah. This game doesn't have breaks for me.
Yeah.
This is just breathless.
I took Lauren's advice of making a little soundtrack, so it's just playing in the background like the whole time,
Yeah.
Awesome.
like at a lower volume. Oh, it's so good.
Can you all do me a very little favor? And can we all do the sound our characters make at the moment we see that together at the same time? Yes, on count of 3. Like
1, 2, 3.
That we know is foreshadowing because he's probably a killer. Just kidding.
Adam, you saw all that.
This is really good, Jason. You're
Yeah,
good at making creepy, freaky dudes.
I was about to ask, is he gonna play? Is he good?
Oh yeah. I'm scared already. The only thing,
Totally.
the only way this could get scarier if it was nighttime.
If the lights were out. I love in horror movies, I love like the killer makes a daytime appearance. Like to me, that's like even scarier than nighttime, right? Like with Michael Myers, I was echoing that scene in the first Halloween movie where Laurie looks across the street and sees Michael Myers staring at her through the window. I was echoing that with Adam, right?
Whoa, so good.
That's so amazing.
Paul, you need to come to rescue us all from our parents. We want to live at your place.
I'm going running. Sorry.
And that's where we'll end.
So good.
Oh my god.
Time to vomit now.
I like your Lauren's note. Please don't make out with my mouth.
So good.
Have we even named her? Or we just call her Fall's mom. She has a name, right?
Yeah, we definitely named her.
It's on the list here. Adam,
this is your last chance. When I come back online, I will kill you.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, listeners. This is Jason. If you are enjoying Mercy Falls 83, please consider supporting the Gauntlet on Patreon. There are a lot of costs associated with producing Pocket Size Play, from editing, hosting fees, music licenses, and more. Your Patreon pledge helps pay for all of that stuff and indeed encourages us to create more Pocket Size Play. As a bonus, if you pledge $2 or more, you also get early access to Pocket Size Play episodes, which is pretty cool. So go to patreon.com/gauntlet and support the show today. Thanks.